Now, your local election central, of course, the White House has invited all of Indiana's state Republican legislators for a visit later this month. It's part of a series of talks the Trump administration is having with delegations from several states. This comes weeks after Vice President J.D. Vance met with state leaders in Indianapolis to talk about redistricting mid-decade. Fox 59 State House reporter Hannah Adamson live in studio with us to explain what this upcoming meeting is all about and how both sides of the aisle are now responding. Hannah, fill us in.
Well, today, Indiana House and Senate Republicans confirmed they received invites from the White House to discuss President Trump's agenda. And while redistricting talks are not officially on that list of items they're going to be talking about, some lawmakers I spoke to say they're still preparing for that conversation.
I hope that we have an honest conversation.
State Representative Craig Haggard says he's one of at least 20 Indiana House Republicans heading to D.C. later this month to talk strategies with senior White House officials.
What can we do on a state level with state legislation that can help promote that agenda, to keep that moving, whether that's cutting spending, doing things more fiscally responsible.
The visit comes as Indiana Republicans consider redrawing congressional lines mid-decade. Earlier this month, Vice President J.D. Vance met with State House leaders in Indianapolis to discuss redistricting.
I think each caucus leader is taking the temperature there. And yes, the comments I've heard have been, hey, be careful. Here you need to make sure you're probably doing something that makes sense, not to where it has a purely political motive.
However, Republicans say they received White House invitations before the vice president's visit, and the invitations did not mention redistricting as a topic of discussion. Still, Representative Haggard says he's preparing to talk about redistricting should it come up.
Obviously, it's gaining a lot of momentum, national news, local, state news, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if it came up from either people on our side asking questions or somebody from the White House.
IU professor Jody Madeira says redistricting conversations at the White House could fall under legally gray territory.
Basically, federal employees can't use official authority or influence to affect an election. Because these federal employees can engage in political activity while they're on duty or in a federal building.
Democrats say any move to redistrict early is a waste of taxpayers' money.
To not address problems that we had that were hanging in the previous session, like property taxes, it would be a poor call all the way around.
The White House meeting will take place on Tuesday, August 26th. In studio, Hannah Adamson, Fox 59 News.